Idan, would you mind sharing a demo with us and walking us through? We've been talking about the philosophy of this whole time. I'm sure some people are just like,
let's see the pretty
dying
UI.
to say something. Yeah.
So yeah, sure. So let me share my screen here. So starting with the environments dashboard. Now, you only left me about 10 minutes to do the demo, so I'm going to rush this and show you the key part. So this is what we talked about. I've got environments, I've got dev, QA, staging, I've got different products. Here's my membership product. And let's start. So this is version 1.28.3, and this is version 1.26.17. This is, and let's actually skip this one. I'll come to this, but let's see this one because this is a Trio app, and this means that it's built from 3 different microservices. One very cool thing that we haven't talked about is that if I click here, I can see the underlying dependencies, and I can compare these dependencies across different environments. So this is kind of not related to promotion, but we want to make your life easier. We want to give you information that you need at your fingertips. So just this. But what I really want to show is let's do a promotion. I'm going to do a drag and drop promotion. Don't worry, you can choose whatever environment you want to deploy to. And what's happening now? So this is what we talked about. We're comparing the 2 repos. We're looking for differences, and look what we found. We found that the app version changed and that the tag changed. Now, am I going to do a pull request or a commit? Oh, I can't actually choose the commit. Why? Because someone built a policy that says, I'm deploying now to a production environment. You're not going to get to do a commit here.
Mm-hmm.
You have to open a PR. So let's do a live demo. Let me create a PR. And that's going to happen behind the scenes. I'm going to wait. And we've actually seen that we've started a release. This is our releases screen. Every time Codefish, GitOps Cloud does a promotion, we see a release that happened here. I can go and see here the history of all the releases and what environments they were deployed to. Right now, we're deploying between Prod EU and Prod Asia, and that's waiting. Let me see. So let's go to this one. This is a nice one. I've got here a bunch of, let's actually go to full screen, 4 different environments, 6 different environments going on here. Some of them in parallel, some of them sequential. There's dependencies built in. This is where yes.
I have a question. Where can I see a promotion flow? And I want to see if they're sharing the same.
Yeah, I'll get to that in just a second, how we built this out. But what I wanted to show here is, again, I want to talk about the developers. This is where we want developers to live. This is where the information is. This is where the reason why something didn't work. And these environments are green not because we like the color green, but because they passed successfully. They passed the pre-action test, the post-action test in each environment. And you're actually going to get, so this is not sharing because it's a different window, but we also have commit statuses to send to your GitHub, to your commit, and you can go there directly from GitHub into this screen if anything fails. If everything works properly, like we have here a promotion that succeeded, we don't care about that. So let's go and see the promotion flow. So this promotion is got here 6 different environments, we said. Let's go see how easy it is to build this from scratch. So I'm going to go here and go to my promotion flows and create a new one. Okay, I'll shut this out. I don't care about this one. I'll start with my trigger environment. Let's start with dev. Dan, what should we do after dev?
Let's go to both staging and QA at the same time. Make it
Great.
hard for you.
That's done. So these are going to be deployed to in parallel. After that,
don't we want to run some tests? I don't get it.
Yeah, we'll test, but let's do the environments first.
Yeah, let's set up the
and
so
yeah, from staging, let's go to prod simultaneously in EU, Asia, and US.
Ooh, nice. And so what happens after QA? Let's also have this depend on QA. Why not? Perfect. Now, wow, this is really complex. Let's see how easy it is to build this. I'm going to click on this YAML button here, and wow, 33 lines of very, very short YAML got this to happen. This is our CRD. This is a promotion flow. We get this. You commit this into Git. Let's click on save. This is not a save. This is a commit. So this is what gets committed. And it's very easy to understand. What do I have here? I've got here environment staging, depends on dev. And the policy is to do a commit. But if we go a bit down here, we can see that environment production Asia, which is a production environment, depends on staging. So the policy is to do actually a PR. And we can obviously customize that here. We can change to a manual automatic deployment or a manual commit. And so let's add the test. Let's make sure that before we move to production, we tested QA thoroughly. So I'm going to add here a post-action workflow, and I'm going to run my smoke test. Now, these are Argo workflows that execute next to our applications in QA. By the way, QA can actually have 10 different Argo CD applications running on different clusters managed by different Argo CDs. We don't care about that. That's a completely separate layer. You can do whatever you want there. We're going to run this workflow on each and every of those applications to make sure.
Such an important point. Such an important point because, again, we talked about any environment, people define it differently. If I push to production, that may mean updating 75 Argo applications, each in a different cluster with a different Argo CD instance. And we haven't really talked about this as a control plane, but this is a control plane. So behind the scenes, any number of Argo CD instances or clusters could be running. It doesn't matter to me as a user or as an admin because I kind of abstract that away with a simple CRD like this.
Exactly. Now, I can add these tests. I can add additional ones, but what we usually see, and let's add a soak test here, is let's add integration with ServiceNow. So we have these nice little hooks here, and that essentially means that I can decide to start ServiceNow. ServiceNow. I'll open a change request here, and I'll send a Slack notification if this promotion is complete successfully. And on production US, I'll configure a hook, another Slack notification, and on success, I'm gonna close my service now. So move into implement. Let's do that. And it's that easy, and everything that I did in this fancy, very pretty UI is stored in the CRD that you see here and easy to understand. And you never have to go to the RUI if you don't want to. Everything can be managed directly in Git. With bypassing the UI completely, Argo CD is going to sync these resources to the platform, and everything's going to work magically. And by the way, this promotion flow, let's go ahead and save this.
Dan, one question I have. Maybe you walk through it because it was a little bit quickly because we instructed you to do it quickly. So it's not your fault. But one question, smoking test. What if it fails? What if one test fails? Can I do I have a flow that I can go out of it?
So again, you can, when a smoke test fails or any validation test fails here, the environment will be considered, the promotion will fail. And you will trigger, so in this example, if this environment fails, on failure, I can do something else. I can send a Slack notification. I can create a workflow that will skip a step. I can do a bunch of things. And because it's using Argo workflows behind the scenes, it can be as flexible as you want and run any container that you want. And pretty much, I've talked to a bunch of people in KubeCon, and I gave them this challenge. Give me a flow that I can't model here very easily. And fortunately, I haven't gotten this yet. And it's completely flexible. And if it's not flexible enough for you, let us know. We're still working on this. This is not a done deal. I want to hear this feedback. I want to see what else we can improve here. And it's that easy. So I'm just we showed you the drag and drop promotion, the promotion flows, the CRD, how we manage everything. I'm not going to go too deep. The last thing I'm going to do is let's go to my Trio app. And we got this quick search here, which makes my life so much easier. And let's take a look at the releases. So again, it's very important to see this release screen, the history of all the releases, who did what. And again, let's go to the one that failed. When things go wrong, I have a clear indication what happened here. I can see the logs. I can access exactly what application failed to deploy, what workflows failed to deploy. I have this information, or more importantly, my developers have this information. So that's amazing. And we also tack onto this, and we haven't talked about this, but release notes that actually give you information from the CI. And these show you pull requests and Jira tickets that are associated with the code change that triggered the building of this image, then the deployment that goes all the way to prehistoric to the beginning of times, so that when things go wrong, you know exactly what happened and you can understand and you can talk, you know who to talk to. I need to talk to Francisco. I need to talk to Dan Garfield here. I know who to work with.
Super powerful. And I like the challenge that you set up for the viewers. If you find any scenario that cannot be addressed here, we want to hear about it.
Oh, so one thing we talked about, we have to show you this. So again, we've got this product and we've got the product settings and the concurrency that we talked about. But let me show you the promotion settings because I really like this, and Dan, I think you also like this as well. So here we decide what gets promoted. So version.yaml, we're going to get this JSON path. And look how easy it is to essentially choose the path. So I don't need to figure out the wildcards and the exact path. I've got a preview here of my YAML structure. I've got example of the values. I can say, hey, let's take the repository with 2 wildcards, add that, and that's when I'm going to get promoted. And I need to commit these changes. And if I want to see that this is actually what I want to promote, I can preview the configuration, and it's going to load up here an example app and show me the values that will get promoted. So again, I have confidence in what I'm doing. It's easy to set up. And again, all these values are also reusable across different products. So I can put them in line like I have here, but I can actually reference a template that can be used across all my products. So essentially, I can actually model my entire CD lifecycle for all my applications, all my services, with 1 or 2 promotion flows, promotion template, a few products. I can connect multiple flows to one product. So we'll go through all the stages on a standard release, but with a hotfix, we're gonna go from dev to production right away. So again, that's super flexible.
This is another thing that I really like, is that you can actually build multiple promotion flows for not only different scenarios, but they can kind of overlap in a way. So you can say like, oh, like I got to push to early adopters, and early adopters might be a subset of a larger production environment. That's okay. Like I can do that. And so I can build these really powerful, flexible flows. And I love the idea of a hotfix too, where you're going to have probably some different criteria for just like approvals and stuff, but you can skip a lot of the steps because you just need to get it out right away. Whereas normally in the past, when you have a hotfix like this, the solution is call that one person who has access to all the things, get them up in the middle of the night, make them all break process. And so you end up having a situation where basically people are left with unreasonable levels of access that shouldn't really be needed, and they're having to break glass way too often. Whereas here, it's like, no, we have predictable flows for how to handle these scenarios. It's a much better situation to be in.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Amazing. So we have subscribed to the CodeFresh GitOps Cloud YouTube channel, and we've got in-depth videos about everything. Lots of, like, I think 10, 11 short 5-minute videos detailing all this functionality and much more.
You did a great job with that, by the way.
Thank you.
Great. They're really short. They're easy. They're accessible. And Done. This is only for enterprises, right? I can't access this. I have to go talk to a salesperson to use it, right?
Yeah. So go sign up. There's a 45-day free trial here. Yeah. And if you need more time, just ask. We'll probably give you a few more days there. And sign up by yourself. Enter a credit card. You can expense it. Use your personal card and expense it. Ask permission. Ask forgiveness, not permission. No, just kidding. But we made it accessible. We've got you covered with documentation, help videos, blog posts by the experts. We've got the enterprise experience. We're maintainers. We know what we're doing. And we're still building this, and we love to hear feedback. So if at any point you're trying this out, you think, hey, how can this work for me? I'm not sure. Send a message to our support team. They're amazing. They love to help.
This is easy to try. And the feedback that we've had since KubeCon launching this, making it so accessible, has been phenomenal. I mean, people are kind of going nuts over how much easier. Like when you do this stuff, I remember I had this experience. We'll close with this, okay? But like, I remember early on in my career, I had spent a lot of time learning how to like build and optimize a Linux server. And like, I just was like really good at it. And I was like, oh man, I could set one up in like 30 minutes. And I felt really good about that. And then one day I ran a container and I was like, oh, I will never use that skill again. That is gone completely. And this to me feels like that times 10, where it's like, oh, I've been building promotion flows using CI/CD. I've been doing this manually. I've been doing this for 20 years. I got really good at it. I can build this stuff with the Jenkins pipeline, blah, blah, blah. And then I'd use this and I'm like, oh, I will never do it the old way again, because it is so much better. It's so much easier. It's clearer for all the users. All the developer experience is 1,000 times better. And a lot of what has happened with GitOps is a lot of the infrastructure advantages that are associated with it have come with sacrifices in developer experience. And this brings all that stuff back times 10. So you're way better off than you were in the beginning. So thank you, Idan, for coming on and talking with us about this, and great work. Building this out with the team and making it happen, because it's really, I think it's a game changer. I think it's totally revolutionary, and it's the thing I'm most excited about that we're doing at CodeFresh, at Octopus Deploy. So thank you again.
Thank you guys for having me. It was a pleasure. Yeah, have a great day. Great night.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Once again, feel free to subscribe here for Argo Unpacked news and updates.
Yep, that's just codefresh.io/Argo-Unpacked. And of course, you can just find it on social media too. Or just search Argo Unpacked. You'll find us right away.
And we'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.